To winterize your RV, you have to first start by draining the freshwater tank. This can usually be found underneath your coach. Step 2 involves draining your water heater. I have an anode that I like to take out using a 1 1/16 inch socket. I remove the anode from the bottom of the water heater as it's the lowest most drain point. After I take that out, I move over to my RV water heater bypass valve and put that in the bypass position. Now that the anode is out, I'm actually draining the rest of the water out of the water heater. You can see the anode laying down at the bottom. Make sure your heater switch is off. Next, we move to the water filter. Use your tool to unscrew the water filter. Take out the old water filter, toss it in the trash. You can just use a new one next year. You won't need it. Go ahead and empty all the excess water out of the water filter canister, and then screw it back in so that your system can be repressurized with pressurized air through the city water inlet. Move on to your air compressor. Go ahead and step that on down to about 30 psi or less, and then go ahead and hook up your air hose to your city water inlet. Now, I've made this air hose adapter out of 3 different parts that I bought from Lowe's. Assembled them with some Teflon and put a quick disconnect on it. Go ahead and pressurize your system. Then move on up to your sinks. You want to turn each sink on, hot and cold, for at least 30 seconds or until you see air coming out pretty clean out of each faucet. I've done one bathroom and the kitchen sink, and now I'm moving on to the outdoor kitchen, one of the lowest points on my coach, and draining it as well. Don't forget your shower or showers. Make sure that you turn both the hot and cold on and you drain all your water out of the shower hose, and then move on to your toilets. You want to go ahead and press that pedal down until you see nothing but air coming out of your jets. It shouldn't take too long, but make sure you hold it down for about 30 seconds. And lastly, don't forget about any water hose connections you have on the outside of your coach. I have a connection in the front and in the back. Go ahead and connect that hose in the front and the back. Turn on your hot and cold if you have controls for those. And make sure you spray that hose all the way out until you see air coming out of it. And make sure that the hose itself is completely emptied before you store it out in the cold for the winter. You also want to turn your water pump on for 30 seconds. Let all the water clear out of the lines. And then move on to adding RV Antifreeze to all of your sink P-traps. Don't forget your shower and every sink inside, outside, kitchen, and bathroom. You just need to add enough to fill up the trap so that the water doesn't freeze. Once you've completed all those steps, you're going to want to move below your coach to your low drain points, hot and cold. Empty those out at their lowest point. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments and I'll try and answer them.